And I will remind you that recently it was disclosed that both Fidelity and BlackRock each invested $200 million in the Series F of Circle. That is a huge vote of confidence in the middle of all of this volatility. We're talking about the equity of the company. And so they're the most conservative money managers on earth, putting a bet forward on Circle becoming at least one of the regulated cryptocurrencies that are stable. And so at the end of the day, you know, they have the risk too. We all have risk. But if I have to bet, I'll invest beside Fidelity and BlackRock, and that's exactly what I did.
What's up, guys? Kevin Cage here with another cryptocurrency update. In today's video for iTrustCapital, I wanted to settle some FUD. I'm going to provide this FAQ at the top of the YouTube video description, and let's get into it. So right on iTrustCapital's Twitter, we can see on July 21st, they shared an FAQ how my crypto assets are stored and secured. And there's a lot of FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt occurring right now in the market, especially after liquidations, and rightfully so, because hedge funds like Three Arrows Capital and a variety of other companies are going bankrupt. So there's a lot of FUD about KuCoin going down, or even Coinbase, the crypto exchange. So a lot of people are concerned and saying, hey, is iTrustCapital safe? So we'll go through this FAQ really quick and talk about the worst case scenario for assets, and bottom line, your assets are safe. So this is linked right in the YouTube video description. How are my crypto assets stored and secured? So we'll talk about the storage, but first let's answer the most important concern. What would happen to my IRA and assets, all the crypto I hold, if iTrustCapital and or the custodian, and they have multiple, were to go out of business? And as you can see right here, the custodian and iTrustCapital maintain a business continuity plan to address the business wind down and account transitions if needed. In the event that a wind down is required, clients would retain ownership and control of their accounts and assets and would be required to transfer their funds to another custodian. Client assets, referring to all of our crypto, are never mixed with operating funds and therefore are not available to satisfy the obligations of iTrustCapital or its custodian. So basically, if Coinbase Custody or Fireblocks or both go completely bankrupt, which I personally find improbable, we would still retain ownership and control over our accounts and cryptos. So in that case, or worst case scenario of everything imploding, we would just be required to transfer our funds to another custodian. And before joining iTrustCapital in 2020, I was actually with one other crypto custodian before this, and that was IRA, but they were like way too expensive. They didn't have options for cryptos. I could not trade 24/7. I couldn't settle assets. It was a hassle. So I'm happy I made the migration, and I don't think I'll have to do it again. Fingers crossed. And that's a joke, by the way. Does iTrustCapital lend against my assets? Absolutely not. No, iTrustCapital does not lend against client assets. They never take custody of client assets, and client assets are never mixed with operating funds. The assets are secured and stored with third-party institutional storage providers, as outlined by our terms of service. And you can use the link in the YouTube video description or right in this pinned comment below this video. You come up to how it works and then click FAQ. Now, iTrustCapital is integrated with two behemoths such as Fireblocks. Fireblocks is powering over 1,300 of the largest institutional players for trading and brokerage, exchanges and lending, in banking and payments. And this is the same thing that my OTC over-the-counter broker uses, which is also linked below. And now we even have Bank of New York, or BNY Mellon, plans to use Fireblocks, in which it plans to serve as a custodian for digital assets on behalf of institutional investors. And we also have Coinbase Custody. And I assume that most of these assets available on coinbase.com/custody/assets will also be available on iTrustCapital. Now, obviously, QNT is available on Coinbase Custody since it's already on Coinbase, but I am still waiting on HBAR. Alright, what else we got? So I do want to share a few clips with you, and then also to share on TradingView, I recommend if you use iTrustCapital to create your own watch list. So as you can see, I have my own iTrustCapital watch list right here with 16 of the assets that I personally am comfortable trading and that I feel will still be here in the next 5 to 10 years. And some of the alts in this list are just alts that I want to keep a close eye on. Now, I played this clip at the beginning of this video. This is Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful of Shark Tank. Now, this video was posted 8 days ago on Kevin O'Leary's YouTube channel, and I wanted to share this clip. Basically mentioning that in terms of stablecoins, everybody has their thoughts about USDT, are assets truly backed or fully reserved, and if they are actually backed and collateralized with crypto assets, in Tether's case, they have to over-collateralize Tether and truly back it to really make up for that volatility. So we all have our personal opinions about which stablecoins are safer, and my personal opinion, not financial advice, is that USDC seems to be a lot safer than Tether. So USDC is backed by a firm called Circle, and actually what Kevin says in this video is this: BlackRock and Fidelity, two of the biggest companies in the world, have each invested $200 million in a Series F of Circle. Wow. I remember in like 2017, there'd be a crypto article saying this crypto might be partnered with Walmart, and it would go up and pump and we'd all be excited. And now we have two of the largest companies throwing a total of $400 million into a stablecoin ecosystem for the future of DeFi and crypto. And USDC could kind of be like CeFi DeFi, but USDC and improving the liquidity is going to be great for the future. Because of course, right on DeFi Llama, we're back up to $100 billion total value locked, or TVL. We had an all-time high over $285 billion. Many people believe that TVL, this $100 billion, will surpass $1 trillion in the future. And when in doubt, zoom out. Look at the growth of this crypto asset class. July 2020. This was 2 years ago. Total value locked was at $3 billion. We went from $3 to $285 billion plus. So obviously this growth is explosive. Yeah, there's probably going to be diminishing returns in the future. Now from 285 all the way down to 3, that grew by a factor of 95. That is a 95x. And to go from 100 to 1 trillion, that is a factor of 10. Now if you measure from the all-time high TVL, that's actually less than a factor of 4. And the reason I'm talking about this is because stablecoins are critical infrastructure for the future. Even if some are centralized in terms of governance or holdings, they are crucial for liquidity for on and off ramps in this ecosystem. Okay, next up, how are my digital assets secured with iTrustCapital? They also have a YouTube channel where they explain this. If you do want to watch it, I have shared it before. iTrustCapital is a software platform that utilizes a third-party custodian to custody client assets. The custodian is a regulated state-chartered trust company. As a custodian, it holds client assets in individual retirement accounts solely for the benefit of each client. The custodian utilizes proprietary technology to custody digital assets, including a variety of proven secure digital asset storage solutions. Highlights include institutional-grade offline storage. This is cold storage. Our crypto assets are secured offline. Multi-party computation (MPC). And this is good to see. Providers undergo regular security and financial audits by external firms and have been awarded SOC 1 Type 2 and or SOC 2 Type 2 certifications, along with commercial crime insurance policies. So remember that iTrustCapital is 100% free. There are no monthly fees, no hidden fees. There's just a 1% transaction fee, just like Coinbase, except for a crypto IRA. So for anybody new, I have a Roth IRA with this platform. What that means is that all future gains, all capital gains and profits will be taxed at 0%, whereas most retail traders or investors are paying 15% or maybe even closer to 40%. If you make $1 million, you are paying multiple six figures in taxes. And when I grow my crypto in iTrustCapital, I pay 0. And we're going to finish up today's video with this clip. And all links can be found in the YouTube video description, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Today, we dive into the fun part of finance, retirement accounts. More specifically, we're talking about IRAs. The acronym was created in the mid-70s by the US government and means Individual Retirement Arrangement. Typically, most people will say Individual Retirement Account. There are two main types of IRAs, a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA. A traditional IRA allows individuals to invest in assets within their retirement account before paying income tax. A Roth IRA allows individuals to invest in assets within their retirement account using post-tax dollars. There are 4 different ways to invest in a crypto IRA. Roll over a 401k or other savings plan, transfer digital assets from another IRA provider, transfer an existing crypto IRA to a crypto IRA at iTrustCapital, and lastly, individuals can contribute to a new IRA.